Hi, my name is Tom. I've got this idea and I want your help. I can't do this alone. If you live in Flint, Michigan, between 475, Robert T. Longway Boulevard, Dort Highway, and Leith Streets, I'm talking to you. We got some money from the Community Foundation, $1,000. And you and I live in the same place. See? Right there. Flint. Everything that happened to me from the moment I was born until I was 18 years old happened inside that square right there. Let me show you where I was born. I was born in 1950 at St. Joseph Hospital. I went to Civic Park Elementary School, Longfellow Junior High School, and Northern High School. That's me right there. I'm the candidate's mummy. I was carried up to the stage on the back of a football player who set me there. And then I was also on the cross-country team. And I even got to be the Viking in my senior year. Of course, in those days, when you were 18, 19 years old, there was a good chance you'd go into the military, and that's what I did. And later on, I was actually on television. And that's why I'm talking to you now, because I have this idea, but I wanted you to know a little bit about me, so this is from the old days.
If we're lucky, we can retain at least some of the wonder and magic of childhood, the ability to see each day as an adventure. In New Orleans, there's a man named Tom Foote who understands those treasured qualities of innocence, and he uses that understanding to bring happiness to just about everyone he meets. Not everyone begins their day quite like Tom Foote, but then not everyone wakes up and assumes the daily responsibilities of a clown. Clowning, or foolishness as Tom likes to call it, has been part of his life for as long as he can remember. But there is a message behind this tomfoolery, a message of communicating, whatever form it may take.
The message I'm trying to preach to people is communication, you see. And I guess the mode I'm using is the things that make up childhood or childlike activities. What I'm trying to strive for is show people different ways of communicating. It's not so much important what you're communicating, really. It's the fact that you're communicating and that you find as many different ways to communicate as you can.
Finding ways to communicate his performing talents was not easy in the beginning. After a colorful career that included street mime performing in Europe, Tom moved to New Orleans and began where many actors in search of work begin, at Jackson Square, one of the world's most distinctive come-as-you-are, open-air stage type settings. Visits to Jackson Square are fewer and farther between these days, but Tom's appeal with children has helped to fashion a variety of newer and more profitable stages for Tom and his traveling show. When independent Channel 26 wanted to add a little punch into their daytime programming for children, they had to look no further than to this face, which is now one of the city's most recognizable smiles. The show is, of course, for kids, but its themes run more along the lines of maturity, responsibility, and getting involved.
For everybody to know what to do with close catch on fire.
Hey, that really sounds important. Can you show me?
Okay, see, first to stop is running with fan flames to make a fire. Then you cover your face tap with your hands and draw. In your lover and
I like working with kids because they're so direct. I like working with kids because they're fun. I like working with kids because they're not caught up like adults are. Adults are a little bit oftentimes trapped, and the kids don't have all those holes built into them yet. And they're still pliable somewhat and able to take in information and able to take that seed that I'll plant and grow with it.
When Dental Health Day came to Audubon Zoo, who better to bring advice about teeth to young ears than the merry messenger, Tom Foote.
Many people think false teeth is real neat. Well, you're wrong. Not neat at all.
From a role model on New Orleans television to a spokesperson for the Dental Health Association, Tom's reputation has become established enough with some parents that they now send their children to a class taught by Master Foote.
Well, I've watched Tom with kids, and he just really has a knack for communicating with them without talking down to them. I really think that he teaches them a certain respect for themselves and for other people.
Why don't you just hold on a second, and we'll all try to go on to the next step together. I'm concerned that it's tough being a kid. I think it must be hard making decisions nowadays because you've got influences from the music world and from TV and movies and your own peer group pressure and parental pressure and your siblings and video games and computers and, you know, how do you make choices anymore? Do you just shut out all those things and go down one straight narrow line, or do you try to touch on all things and satisfy all those things, or shut them out, like I said before? It's very tough. So I'm trying to be an island of calm in the midst of all this and say, look, it's okay to make a mistake sometimes.
If it's hard to be a kid these days, then what hope is there for the adults? Well, as Tom likes to point out, it's never too late to have a happy childhood. This is Foolishness 101, a class offered by Tulane University. In control of this uninhibited group is none other than the town's favorite clown, Professor Tom Foote. Foolishness 101 is a mixed bag of games, storytelling, gestures, and other colorful techniques Professor Tom employs to help loosen the restraints modern-day living puts on the adult world. Sadly, not everyone can take advantage of the classes Tom offers. There are those less fortunate who spend their sunny afternoons inside, confined to hospital treatment. For those special few, Tom takes his show on the road.
Let's have a big round of applause for Tom Foote.
Children's hospitals are sad but happy places because that's where broken kids go to get fixed. And I can go and help them while they're getting fixed and be friendly.
Now, what if somebody came to you and told you that there was something they'd seen made of magic?
It's just nice to do. It's nice to reach out from yourself a little and go from your nice, warm, safe home and go to some place and do something nice for people.
Children in hospitals aren't Tom's only concern. There are hundreds of others, the blind and the physically handicapped, who are confined to their homes. A little bit of foolishness reaches them, too, through the facilities of WRBH Radio.
A mixed grab bag of stories, games, activities, and interesting facts. No matter what your age, it's never too late to have a happy childhood. So sit back, relax, and join me as we dabble in a little foolishness.
I still essentially go for the idea of that former person who used to travel from town to town, probably by walking or with a horse of some sort, and they would juggle and they would paint their face and wear the funny hats. They could teach people. They could bring something out of the ordinary to an ordinary person's everyday life.
And it shall be written, or at least videotaped, that there came to this coastal kingdom a modern-day court jester, wearing unmatched socks and silly hats with bells. And what he found was what he dreamed about finding. People who could still take time out of their day to stop and laugh.